I finally got him. Goodbye, YouTube. Welcome, rich and bright future. Computer, please analyze bounty.
Name of bounty, the Buddymeister. Value of bounty, 0 units. Bounty worthless.
My bounty! Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz, the Buddymeister.
We have reviewed more than 500 Indian movies on the channel.
I should have said I'm Deniz, the Buddymeister.
But you didn't.
But I didn't.
And once a month, all of our Patreon supporters and YouTube members can decide what we should watch and review next. The newest poll is already up, and this time it's about India's recent official Oscar submissions. The last poll was actually super close, but in the end, Kalki 2898 AD won. Kalki is a 2024 Telugu language epic science fiction film written and directed by Nag Ashwin, who I already knew from his 2018 biopic Mahanati.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. The movie stars Prabhas, Amitabh Bachchan, Kamal Hassan, Deepika Padukone, and several more in smaller roles and cameos. It's the first installment in a planned Kalki cinematic universe. So once again, don't expect this movie to have a conclusive end, which I'm pretty sure we will talk about later. It was the most expensive Indian film ever made, and it was pretty successful. So I assume with this one, we will certainly get a next installment.
Yeah.
But what is Kalki 2898 AD all about in the first place? Your turn, buddy.
I have two synopses written down because... So the first... It's both only one sentence.
Okay.
So, the future of those in the dystopian city of Kashi is altered when the destined arrival of Lord Vishnu's final avatar launches a war against darkness.
Okay.
And the second one? Set in a post-apocalyptic world in the year 2898 AD, the film follows a select group of people who are on a mission to save lab subject, some 80s unborn child Kalki.
Yes, that's also
Maybe
true.
it's good to have both of these because
Yeah.
the overall story is like this big good against evil thing, but the smaller story in it is like we have these people who have to save a child.
Yeah.
More or less.
So, once again, I have no idea what this guy thinks about the movie. All I know is this is the science fiction meister. Kind of. You have definitely a passion for sci-fi.
Yeah.
Though this is more like sci-fi fantasy.
Sci-fi fantasy.
In the realm of everything mixed together.
Yeah.
So, before we start talking about what we thought about the movie, let's begin maybe with saying that this is a big achievement in Indian cinema. Because something we we always complained about in the past is that maybe when it comes to the fantastical, when it comes to sci-fi, when it comes to horror, these are genres that are usually not that well represented in Indian cinema, which is fine. It's not that every cinema has to cater to all the genres, but when it comes to sci-fi, there isn't that much out. From Indian cinema, we have seen like maybe a handful. Like we have seen Entiran 2.0. We have seen 9 something horror sci-fi with Prithviraj, Sukumaran. And a few other films.
Yeah, I think
Brahmastra maybe.
Yeah, maybe it falls also into that realm. Yeah, but I mean there are probably a few more movies out there, but that's probably almost all of those we have seen that you just counted.
Yeah, not much. This was the most expensive Indian movie ever made. So a lot of CGI.
Approximately $70 million it costs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it made 130 million or so. So it doubled.
So doubled. It's So that's fine. A lot of ambitions, big scale, big scope. Now, did you like it?
Actually, I thought this was surprisingly great.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. That's. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
Yeah. No, I thought this was. a surprisingly great movie. First, let me add on what you just said, because I think I thought this is a bold movie for the Indian industry, and for me especially, as being not an Indian person, it felt really refreshing to see a post-apocalyptic movie that's not set in Los Angeles or New York or somewhere in the United States of America. Yeah, because we grew up with movies that take place in the USA. Yeah. Almost every movie that's about some kind of catastrophe or alien invasion or post-apocalyptic, of course. It's either set in some dystopic place that we don't know of, or it's set in the USA. Yeah. So it was really refreshing to see something that takes place in India, and the last city on Earth, or the last city with that's have some kind of infrastructure is Kashi. Yeah. So that was really nice. And like I said.
Yeah, and I also thought it was refreshing that we get this. We get a lot of, it's like a hodgepodge of sci-fi. So there's a lot of Star Wars, Dune,
Mad Max,
Escape from New York, stuff like that. It's all in there, but it's
Blade
mixed
Runner,
in with Indian mythology, with ancient Hindu scriptures. And I thought that's also refreshing and something we are not familiar with. And it's great that they want to tell their own stories, their own legends in a fresh sci-fi way.
I like that it was able to have its own distinct voice in being inspired by many movies, but always being itself. I thought it worked very well.
I'm really surprised, I have to say.
You thought I'd hate this movie?
Yeah, I thought you would not like this at all.
You know how it is with these things. You watch a movie, it's like, okay, maybe one day you like it, one day you're not. But with this one, I started and I immediately liked the atmosphere. I immediately liked this world. And like I said, I thought it was refreshing. I thought it's entertaining. It's fun. It's big. It's loud. It's bold. It's just awesome in so many aspects. I mean, there are things in there that I didn't like that much, and I thought it was that dragged the movie down a little bit. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie, but after we read, of course when it was in the cinemas, we read a lot about it, we heard a lot about it, and it was a box office success. But I think critics were more like, it's doing it's okay, it's fine, it's decent.
Yeah, most critics also just praised the ambition of the movie, that it's going places.
The thing is that after I read some of the user reviews on IMDb, which you never should read because most of them are stupid, and I know you watch, and this is like the movie where I finally can say now I think there's a gap between my opinion of Indian movies and all the Indian people. Because not all the Indian people, but so many people.
Positives?
No, only negative.
You read
only
the
negative
negatives.
reviews.
Okay.
And I know that we like certain blockbusters. We don't like them that much, and people are like, why don't you get it? And now I thought this was a great movie. And everybody hates it.
Yeah, I don't like it myself that much.
Okay, great.
No, I don't hate it.
Great, that's a discussion.
I thought it was okay.
Okay.
I thought the first half was all over the place.
Yeah.
The movie, in the first half, the movie tries to establish all these different characters and factions. We have rebels that are living in a hidden place.
Yeah.
Then we have a little girl who looks like a boy, so she doesn't get captured, because in this society, women are getting captured because only a few of them are able to
are fertile, are able to get to bear children.
Yeah, and the bad guys with Kamal Hassan at the top as the Supreme Yaskin. He needs a serum, a special
serum that's made out of
pregnant women, the fetus, and then we have Deepika Padukone.
Yes,
she's pregnant lady. Unfortunately for me, I have to say she's only pregnant lady in this movie.
Okay,
I thought all the actors,
Sumati,
the actors are fine.
Yeah,
but the characters for me not working that well.
Okay,
I thought almost the only character where I thought that's a that's a character that feels alive and kind of real, was Anna Ben's character. She's this young rebel.
Oh yeah,
she
okay.
dies,
Yeah.
And
Spoiler.
yeah, this will be a spoiler review. Come on, this movie was
okay.
very successful, and this will be a spoiler review because I thought there was a backstory with her and the other guy, but then she dies, and I don't mind tonal shifts that much in Indian movies. They happen all the time, but in this movie, the tonal shifts once again, they were extreme.
With the music also, yeah.
Anna Ben's character dies, and then the next scene is the S.S. Rajamouli cameo scene, and I was like, okay.
Well, that's how it is in this world.
Yeah, I know. And I have to say, my review will maybe also be a little bit all over the place. The movie begins in ancient times with Amitabh Bachchan's character.
Yeah, can I say something about that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So it takes place at the at times of the Kurukshetra War. That's the war between the Kauravas and the Pandavas.
Mm-hmm.
So the Kauravas were the sons of King Dhritarashtra and his wife Gandhari, and the Pandavas were the sons of King Pandu, and they both were brothers. Dhritarashtra and Pandu are brothers, and this war is kind of like at the center of the Mahabharata.
Yeah.
So maybe you also want to say all that, but
no. I'm so happy that you are.
I
also
just wanted to show the people how
Meister.
much we are also interested in the culture and in the.
We are.
Yeah,
but
it also
maybe
looks
it's
like
not-
a PlayStation computer game.
Yeah, that too, but still it was stylized, and I actually liked it.
Yeah.
The only thing that was putting me off was the de-aging of Amitabh Bachchan that looked kind of bland and generic. He was he looked like a computer video game character, a little bit too much. But apart from that, I liked the whole stylization of the introduction segment. Maybe it's not so much a fault of the movie. I like that we get this take on Indian mythology and Indian history.
Yeah.
But for me as an outsider, the movie wasn't doing a very good job telling that story and getting me involved. For me, it was just too confusing.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have done more research and read about it on Wikipedia, but just from the movie, I was confused and I was not really emotionally engaged that much. Then we jump to the present day, or actually to the future, because this takes place in the future. And then we get a little bit of world building.
6,000 years later.
6,000 years later, we get world building.
Yeah.
And the world building, it was fine. The movie takes itself very seriously, which is good. But it dragged a little bit, and we get the rebels here, and the bad guys there, and the little girl. And I was almost like out, because I thought, this is fine, cool location, nice sci-fi, but I'm really not that involved. And then we get the introduction of Prabhas, and I was back in, because it was so goofy and so, I don't know, bigger than life. And I'm complaining about tonal shifts, and I think a lot of people have issues with this clash of mass, masala, comedy, Prabhas goofiness and the more serious sci-fi. But at least for me, it was like an injection of life and energy. And I enjoyed myself a lot with that. There were a lot of meta elements with the rebel star thing, and he has this little robot voice.
Rebel fans.
Rebel fans.
Yeah.
He has the voice, what's the name? Buji.
Yeah.
She's voiced by the lead actress from Mahanati. Kirti Suresh. Yeah, so they have a nice banter. I was enjoying that. Unfortunately, though, I like the comedy. The action sequence when Prabhas was involved was also edited in a way that it was just too much for me, because it was way over the edge of being too silly, and I was wondering what's going on. All the bad guys had like weapons, no one was shooting. He just walks to the guys. And
the thing is, the action, especially in the first part, is something that I also didn't like that much, because especially at first scene, I liked Prabhas' entrance. But the action that he had at that moment felt so lazy to me. It felt too slow. It felt like something was off, because like It wasn't classic slow motion because the movie has some slow motion in it.
Yeah.
But this action sequence is shot in a way that's strange. It has like there's no oomph, there's no power. It felt lazy. It felt like what is going on? It's too slow, and I couldn't like pinpoint what is going on.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, some things are nicely done, but it lacked power.
Yeah. I mean, the director hasn't done an action movie before. I'm pretty sure there was like an action choreographer, stunt choreographer there on set, but still, how it's directed, how it's shot, edited, it wasn't. Yeah, it was lacking oomph and punch. And
So for me, I was kind of glad that a movie that big it actually had a lot of parts where there was no action, and I kind of liked that because I was always scared that the action would look like this. But in my opinion, cool it got better later, especially this desert chase sequence. It was nice, and also like I liked the final action. It was like this big Star Wars fight.
With the final action, I have my problems, and we will get to that.
Yeah.
Another problem I had with the first half of this movie.
Yes, please.
This is nothing new. I think a lot of people criticize this.
Yeah.
But there's this segment in the movie where we have like a love interest for Prabhas' character, Roxy.
Oh yeah, Roxy's only there to show him the complex.
Played by Disha Patani.
Yeah.
And this was so scattershot. This was like, there was like 30 minutes missing, or for a second I thought, is this all a dream sequence? What's going on? Because
you mean the complex scene?
The complex scene, it was so bizarre. She has like a job at the complex, and she gets him in for just
1 hour. Yeah.
1 hour?
Yeah,
and they are riding on horses.
Yeah, because of course strangers can't stay there. It's the complex, man.
I get that, but the whole sequence that was done like it's
it's
kind
a bit
of
strange.
Fever dream, or I was
but it's
thinking, is this a dream?
That works
real?
Because the complex is like
like
Bhairava's biggest dream, you know.
That's
so it
true,
makes sense that they ride on horses. And
also, we get a
drink
song.
champagne, and
we get the only song and dance sequence of the movie.
Yeah, my favorite song.
It's the only song.
No, that's not true. There's also like this song later in the Shambhala.
Okay.
There's this song Viradira. There's the Kalki Kesha Madhava. That's the song that I think is singing later. But you mean Tatakara, the complex
where
song.
they are dancing.
Yeah, great song.
What's going on with you?
I don't know. I'm back.
Yeah, the soundtrack was composed by Santosh Narayanan, which is one of our favorites when it comes to recent soundtracks. He did the music for Karnan, which you haven't seen, but also for the other movie by Mari Selvaraj. And
he's like the go-to guy at the moment, I think.
One
of the go-to guys.
Yeah, one of the go-to guys.
Yeah.
I thought the song was not fitting. It wasn't doing anything for me. And this whole sequence at the complex, I was watching like what's going on here?
Am I sick?
And
What's
also,
wrong with me?
Again, this is a masala movie.
Yeah.
And we know the flaws of masala movies, but this Roxy character, she then just vanishes from the movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't show up ever again. We also have, of course, Brahmanandam in a comedic.
Yeah, but the thing,
and he wasn't doing anything funny.
That's
for
true. But
taste.
we know Brahmanandam by now. We know that he always has these roles that he's just appearing and making some jokes. But at least he's like the guy who says, okay, Bhairava, you can live with me because you don't have money. So at least he has some kind of, there is something. Just a little bit. The thing is, he has his environment. He's always lying on this bed in his apartment. Yeah. And so there's a little bit more than we normally get from Brahmanandam. So I thought it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But regarding the characters.
Yeah.
Regarding the characters, I want to say that, yes, you're right. Of course, there are a lot of characters that don't have anything to say or are like in and out. But I think it's only like about like 5 characters or so. We have Bhairava, we have Buji, we have the little girl.
Little girl, completely no personality.
Let me say. So, and we have Sumati, some 80, and we have
pregnant woman.
We have Ashwatthama, the character that Amitabh Bachchan plays. He's the warrior.
Yeah, Amitabh Bachchan. Great energy from him. He's like at one point he's like the angry old man.
Yeah,
but his character is just protector guy, we have pregnant lady, we have protector guy.
Yeah.
And his character, I mean, he's like this tragic figure. He's cursed to live for all eternity. He has to protect the unborn child of, But for me, he's the big protector.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice visual that he's this super tall guy and played by a very old Amitabh Bachchan, and he has gravitas and all of that. But the character itself was like, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but without the personalities, like the old protector, mentor kind of guy. It was fine.
Yeah.
I'm not hating this movie. It was all
and
fine.
I don't think it's perfect.
You said it was great.
Yeah, it's great. And you know what? The thing is, I can totally agree with the things you say, but I think why these characters work for me is because I could like, this world just felt organic for me, you know?
Okay.
I thought they did a great job in building this world. I thought they did a great job in like putting these small scenes in there, because like, you know, the production design is great in this movie, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, the effects look really nice.
Production design is pretty cool, but also very much all over the place with lightsaber-like weapons.
Yeah. Of course.
Guns.
There's not everything I like, but the world in itself, Kashi, the city of Kashi, I think, with these like this steampunky visuals and with the sand and all this stuff, I believe that these characters can live in this world. We have Ashwatthama, who lives in this cave somewhere. We'll have Bhairava, who goes for a drink in this sleazy bar at night. I think all these things like worked, and we with this sand, this desert, I think that's what made this feel organic and made it feel like made it real for me.
Okay.
Of course, you're right. Like, these characters aren't like the most fleshed out or deep characters, and I also thought that like Prabhas, Bhairava is a nice character. I think he also has kind of an arc to him. So
he's like the Han Solo character.
They try to make him interesting, which is fine. They do a good thing, because you don't know, is he a good guy, is he a bad guy? Of course, you probably know what this will lead to, but we don't know until we see part 2 and 3 and 4 and whatever.
Buddymeister.
But I thought Prabhas was also like a little bit sleepwalking in this movie at times.
He was, but that made it fun also.
Yeah, that made it fun. It's also, that threw me off sometimes. But yeah, I just want to say that, I don't know. I like this world. I liked how they put the pieces together. It made sense to me. It felt organic and real. Okay. And I like that we have like clearly good guys. We have clearly bad guys, especially like that right hand of
the right hand. I liked.
What is his name? Ban.
There are 2 right hands. I mean the muscle, the muscle.
Yeah, I mean him too. Yeah, he's great.
But there's also the other guy.
Yeah, the older, like the cleric guy or something.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
Yeah, he's okay. He's not that great. Yeah, but we have clearly, there's good, there's evil, and there's something in between. So that was enough for me to be involved in this story.
Yeah, for me it was too much of a hodgepodge of ideas and cliche.
Yeah, obviously they put like everything they had into this movie with all the, like you said, they are going all over the place with the designs, the weapons, the cars, the vehicles, everything.
The influences. You have the supreme.
I almost liked everything of it. I mean, the weapons looked a bit cheap, to be honest. Yeah,
because they're all in white.
Yeah, I don't know. They looked the most like plastic to me. They looked like, okay, so it's a bit.
Yeah, for me it was all a bit maybe too much and not really emotionally engaging. The Supreme, he's like the Emperor, or like the Baron Harkonnen from Dune, but from Dune.
Another influence, of course,
But he was like, for me, he was not like the good version of the Emperor. He was not like Return of the Jedi. He was like Rise of Skywalker Emperor. Like,
I haven't seen that movie, so I can't say.
So over the top, and and.
But you know what? I thought this movie had just so many great and powerful scenes in there with the music and everything, where I thought, it's so nice. Spoiler again. It's so nice at the end when Bhairava like has a spear in his hand, and there's this scene where he like becomes Ashwatthama's brother, I think. And I don't know. It's like, it gave me like it gave me Rajamouli feels at times with these good use slow motion that is powerful, and give me the scene when Ashwatthama tries to grab Sumati when she's like off the bridge, falling off the bridge. And he can't hold her, but then Bhairava comes. It's just a great scene.
You know, we have to talk about a little Rajamouli cameo in a second.
Yeah.
But for me, the whole finale didn't work pretty much at all because
so interesting. Yeah.
Because Prabhas' character is the one who's the reason for this entire finale, because he's the one who sold them out, who lured the bad guys there, and therefore I was so like not on his side anymore. He's not like an antagonist. He's almost like not like an anti-hero, but he's pretty much working for the bad guys in the second half of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I assume in the second installment he turns good.
Probably.
And I was like,
in a spin-off.
I was like, this is all your fault and it's all for nothing right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, maybe that's my own stupidity, but I was going into this movie pretty blind.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there won't be any real ending to this one. And of course, I should have known that this is only the beginning. But I thought, this movie's 3 hours. There will probably like an end to this one, and then maybe they will do a second one. But once again, this is a movie like it's only the beginning. And somewhere like the 2-hour mark, I thought they won't wrap this all up. And for me, it was just not satisfying how this movie ended. And
I don't know. We have seen so many movies that had a worse ending, because this is like, okay, we got one drop, and this one drop like has this much power. I thought it's a fitting end to make a sequel. We've seen so many bland endings where I thought I'm not even interested in what's going on. Of course, maybe you're not interested in what's going on here.
Not really.
But for me, this was a fitting ending. It felt like, they had a plan about the screenplay. They know what they wanted to do. They had a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, there was just so many ingredients and loose ends. And at one point, I think one character is saying, of course, in the English, in the subtitles, like, what is happening? It's when they find the weapon. I think the bow. They find the weapon.
Yeah.
And the scene comes out of nowhere. Why are they, I don't know, try to find anything there? They just found the weapon. And I think someone said, what is happening? And I was like, what is happening right now? Why is there yet another thing coming in here?
Do you know how it is with these movies?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can totally see where you're coming from. But for me, it's like, okay, this is done. We have movies like this. I have movies like this. I was like, okay, so now I'm just in it, and I don't care how stupid this is.
The action in the finale. When it comes to the action, the stuff in the desert, the chase scene was all right. And when Amitabh Bachchan and Prabhas fight for the first time, I thought that was pretty epic.
It was nice because they also like kept piling it up, action on action on action, never ending, and it was kind of nice.
That was nice. But in the finale, there were so many elements that I thought were once again like edited in a bizarre way. There's this older lady, I unfortunately don't remember her name, who's also...
Oh, yeah, that's Shobana.
That's Shobana. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Shobana,
I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
But she's also becoming like this ass-kicking heroine and jumping into the air.
Yeah, of course. We don't get explanations for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of that was like bizarre. Also, how Prabhas is getting to that place. It was like...
Well,
he's in the desert.
Yeah.
Having this fight with Amitabh Bachchan's character.
Yeah.
Then they are leaving. Then he goes back to the city. He has this talk with his landlord, Brahmanandam.
Yes.
And then we get a little flashback where we are back in the desert, where he's selling out. Or wasn't it a flashback? Is he going back to the desert and then talks to bad guys and then... Because it was
we can see how he like
and I was like, what's going on here?
I don't know. I think we can see him like working on his car.
Yeah.
And then he built his mech warrior.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was for me the storytelling was just weird.
Okay.
And also when we first
I had no problem with
when we first enter this hidden place where you have to drive against the wall, against the mountain, the first time the execution is really off. They drive against it and then they're just there, and it's only the second time that we get the transition, and I thought they should do it the other way around.
Okay.
Just a nitpick, it's not a big thing.
But it's like this typical thing. You were in another mindset at that moment. So for me, I was like okay, so now give me more of this entertaining stuff, and we're like, what? This makes sense. It's
talking about entertaining. Yeah. The Rajamouli cameo. Yeah. It was a lot of fun because it was just for 2 minutes, just meta silliness.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like talking, this guy, when I work for him, I'm like 10 years and I can't do anything else. And
you still owe me money. And it's like,
that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his character is also similar to the Bahubali character. He's like this.
Yes.
We are very sorry, you can probably hear that, but there's a construction site right above my flat. And I have no idea if they will take another break. I don't think so, because probably not. So we have to live with that. So maybe we should wrap it up in a...
Can you hear us? Okay, yeah.
He's similar to the Bahubali character. He's like, in the beginning, doesn't really involved in anything, not fighting for a cause or something like that. He's just...
I have another question about Prabhas' face.
Yeah.
Because he looks so different than in Bahubali. I mean, of course, he's like 5-6 years old, but maybe did he do something to his face? Because he looks so different.
But
it looks
also
like
the beard, I think.
Yeah, but either it's like a CGI thing, or
I
he
don't think so.
Made something to his face, like an operation or something, or he just looks different now. I don't know.
Maybe it just. I think it's the beard also. And Bahubali is clean shaven, and he just has this.
Katapa. Yeah, okay.
Do you want to add anything, because you are so in love with this movie? Maybe there's something you want to throw out there.
No, only love.
Only love. That's great.
Well, not only, but I'm saying my German part now.
Okay, say your German part.
Okay. Kalki 2898 AD hat viele bekannte Vorbilder, schafft es aber, eine eigenständige und interessante dystopische Welt zu entwickeln. Es ist ein kühnes und frisches Spektakel, von dem ich tatsächlich mehr sehen möchte.
I can't believe this. Kalki 2898 AD ist super ambitioniert und ist in dieser Sci-Fi Größenordnung auch einmalig im indischen Kino. Leider erzählt der Film seine Geschichte aber auch echt konfus und schafft es nie, große Gefühle rüberzubringen. Irgendwie ist das ständig überall und nirgendwo.
Nein.
You can give this all you want.
It's fine. Hey, we're a movie review channel.
I just want to say, not that you are going down, because I'm only at
I was thinking about it, but no, not this time.
I'm only at a 5 out of 10.
What?
It's more like 5.4, but I don't do that.
Okay.
You can give it an 8 or 9.
For me, it's 8 out of 10.
Nice.
8 out of 10.
You're the sci-fi meister.
And you know what I've written down? I was thinking maybe it's a little bit less, but I'm doing it. 7.9, but I don't do that.
Nice.
So, trivia, I mean, a movie that big deserved big trivia, but I just couldn't find any. So
nothing about Prabhas' face?
Nothing about Prabhas. I don't know. No,
it's probably nothing.
It's still something maybe mildly interesting. Did you know that it has been almost 40 years since Amitabh Bachchan and Kamal Hassan were in a film together?
I didn't know they ever.
Yeah, the last time was Giraftar from 1985.
Nice.
And you know what? Rajinikanth was also in that.
Nice. Maybe Rajinikanth will join them in the second installment. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they probably didn't share one day of shooting in Kalki, and I don't know if Kamal Hassan was even there or if he just made a photograph. They made a photograph of his face and did everything without him, and he just did some voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
It's movie of the year.
You can find us, follow us, and support us on patreon.com/JimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.
If you want to get notifications, click the bell. We have to get out of here.
We still have to do the intro.
We have to do the intro.
Always record the intro
afterwards.
So, bye.
Bye.